When a manager says something like, this player's probably not going to play for a while, we need to give him some time to get integrated to our squad and the things that we do, they'll normally have good reason. So here is a clip from Liverpool's 3-2 loss to Brentford back in October. And at this point, Liverpool are 3-1 down, and they're about 15-20 minutes to go with added time. And as you can see, Federico Chiesa is pressing the goalkeeper. He is essentially trying to cut off this little lane right here so that he can't play out to the centre-back. So because of his pressing angle, the only pass really on for Kelleher is to play, or the only safe pass is to play straight into the midfield. And as he does, it becomes clear where the next pass is going to go, which is right over there. And at this point, if you're Liverpool, that's pretty good, right? You force the pass into this kind of area right here, and although there isn't anybody near the centre-back, this is a good area for you to initiate some form of high press. So when that ball gets played, you now have Brentford playing in this kind of small area over here, and essentially if you can cut off, as Chiesa does, cut off this area over here, you're essentially just keeping them in a small portion of the field, which is when you're pressing, it's the same thing in basketball. When you're going to go and press, you want to keep the area of the pitch very small. But what's interesting here, and what the main point of this video is that Florian Wirtz has a look over his left shoulder just to see what's going on. And he sees Rio Ngamoa beelining it for the centre-back. Now, if you're Rio Ngamoa, this is where his youth, inexperience, and I guess a bit of naivety comes into it, because under what circumstances are you going to be able to cover this distance if the pass has already been played? And that's what you would ask him on a really baseline level. On a deeper level, you'd ask, why are you even pressing here anyway? You have a responsibility right here, which is Michael Kayode. There is no reason for you to go and press the centre-back right here. And as we see, if we go one frame forward, the ball is about to reach the centre-back's feet, and Florian Wirtz has essentially halved his distance, but Rio Ngamoa hasn't gone anywhere. And by the time the centre-back actually takes his first touch, Florian Wirtz is somewhat close to him. This gap is not too big. And Rio Ngamoa hasn't even covered half of the distance yet. So as Florian Wirtz forces this long ball down the line, Rio Ngamoa is in no man's land. He isn't close to anybody. He isn't doing anything. Now, this doesn't seem to be that big of a deal because the ball is going long and you'd assume that maybe Liverpool will be able to regain possession, but look what happens next. You can't really see the ball here because of quality, but Andy Robertson is essentially heading this ball back down the line. But because Rio Ngamoa is in no man's land, Michael Kayode is able to just hook this ball back up the line again under no pressure. I mean, in fact, he probably could have brought this ball down and driven into some space in front of him if he wanted to. But as I said, he hooks the ball down the line, and this forces Virgil van Dijk to have to boot the ball into the stands, which earns Brentford a throw-in. And then from there, Brentford can waste an extra minute. The ball is now in Liverpool's half. They have to defend some more, regain the ball, and they lose the advantageous position that they were when they were pressing high up the pitch. And when you're 3-1 down, having a situation where you can press a player in this small of a space right here is exactly what you want. You win the ball half the pitch, you might be able to score quickly. So next time a manager says something like, we have a new player, but we need to integrate him and get him used to the way that we play, these are normally the mistakes that they're trying to get rid of. Because it's so easy to do, and especially at the levels that Rio was playing at before, this is probably something that he was doing every single game. But at this level, when the margins are so thin, you can't really afford to make these kinds of mistakes, and it really cost Liverpool in this situation.